Look at this. A game on the Atlantic. Domination mode with no destroyers. Only cruisers, battleships, and aircraft carriers. Hello, I am Xarkun and this is World of Warships Legends. Today I present to you a game in the legendary tier British battleship Conqueror. As you can see, I've got one of those Godzilla or King Kong skins on the Conqueror. I made it permanent. It sort of looks like, a lava field or whatever. Basically gives the impression that this ship arose from the depths of hell to rain down hellfire on everybody with its ridiculous high explosive. That's why I have it dressed like this, and I think the effect is quite nice. I'm in a division here with a subscriber of mine. It was another time when I felt like being a little bit social, so every now and then, maybe I'll appear online, maybe I'll ping my Discord server, I'll get into a division with somebody random and play, 4 or 5 games with them. It's always possible. Anyway, I took out the Conqueror. I think he is in the Alaska, and we're heading over to the Alpha Cap. You can see some torpedo bombers coming in this way, but they aren't going for me. They're going for somebody else. The carrier has pre-dropped part of his squadron there, so he's only got 3 planes, and actually I don't even know if they're all gonna get through unscathed. I think they all go down, but not before they are able to drop their torpedoes into the water, so maybe that carrier got some damage against my teammate. No idea. Either way, heading toward the Alpha Cap. And games like this with no destroyers, suddenly it becomes a lot harder to take the objectives because everything is so much more conspicuous. And we're going to see that the objectives aren't flipped for quite some time in this game. Broadside Georgia out there, though, hit him for 8k with the HE, start him on fire. Nevertheless, we are going to follow that up with the AP because we've got a Bismarck and a cruiser out here. Also that Georgia, all of whom are broadside. And for broadside shots like this on the Conqueror, while the HE is outrageously powerful, the AP, nothing to sneeze at. Take a look at this shot on the Bismarck, who is now at this point somewhat angled. Yeah, that's 30,000 damage against that guy. He's going to be hurting after that, and none of that is really going to polish out since it was all AP penetration. Georgia is broadside as well. I guess he is just asking for it, perhaps assuming that I'm still going to be shooting the high explosive, but I'm not. There's another AP salvo. This one, I think we kind of get cursed on the RNG or something, because we don't get quite as much damage against the broadside Georgia as we did the Bismarck. I think a lot of our shells missed. Still, 11k, nothing to shake a stick at. That guy is also hurting. But we've kind of got to retreat here. We have a number of enemy ships over here. I think there are 4 within range to shoot us, or at least potentially within range to shoot us. And the Conqueror isn't exactly a tanky ship. I mean, it is, but it's got to take damage that it can heal and heal it back in order to tank. So we don't want to push into all these guys. We'll just die if we do. Unfortunately, we're going to run right into the map border. Kind of weren't paying attention to where we were going, and we quickly ran out of real estate. So we're going to have to reverse it now with our engine power drastically reduced. And these guys are coming toward the Alpha Cap. Looks like a good majority of the enemy team is actually over here, which is kind of a problem. We do need to turn around and continue disengaging if we want to come out of this skirmish alive. Unfortunately, we aren't even in full reverse yet. I don't know if I wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing, but we're stopped. Finally, we kick it into reverse as the Bismarck begins to turn broadside. We smack him pretty hard there with the AP, but we've switched to the HE now, which maybe not the most advisable thing. Probably should have stuck with the AP, but looks like the Bismarck's actually going to get behind that island and save himself from death at the hands of our guns, at least. He might go down to somebody else, considering that Wichita there just lit a fire on him, which it doesn't look like he can put out, but it's the Iowa that sinks him, and now that cap is clear. Notice that we are roughly 5 minutes into the game, and neither team has actually secured a cap. The Reds were trying with Alpha, and they're trying again. You can see the Suzuya is now inside of it, and it's turning red. HE shot out with the bat guns at him, and even the HE, pretty nice against cruisers. 2 penetrations, 4,000 damage, and a fire. We'll take it. Suzuya goes down immediately after that. Once again, Alpha Cap is clear. Charlie Cap being turned blue by a battleship inside of it. Enemy team has lost 2 ships. We've got a points advantage here, and the points are static since nobody holds a cap. But at some point, this game is going to come down to caps, and we're going to see the importance, once again, of capture points in a domination mode game illustrated for us. The Bismarck is now moving in. Around this capture circle, besides the Bismarck, we've got a Cleveland over there at full health, spamming high explosive at everything. That guy is a little bit of a problem, and we would like to deal with him if possible. And then we've got Georgia out there, pretty low on health at this point. We're going to take a shot at him as a follow-up to the Wichita's shot there. And I don't think we're going to light a fire, but we are going to hit him for 8k, reducing him even more as the Wichita lights a fire, so potentially he's a one-shot kill. I'm sorry, did I say that was a Bismarck? That is clearly a gross occur first. We're going to have to take care of this guy, though, since he's inside of the cap. We've got more enemy ships moving into Charlie versus 1 battleship, and we've got 1 battleship in Bravo. So the cap game is still ongoing, still undecided. No real sense of who is going to be able to secure a cap first, but we want it to be our team. Why? Because once again, the capture points, as long as you hold them, give you a steady income of points that build over time, whereas sinking ships gives you a one-time lump sum of points, and if you don't hold any capture circles, then your points remain static, as they are here. You can see that the point situation at the top of the screen here, it's 255 to 270. Nobody's points are moving up because nobody holds a cap circle. So the only way to score points is by sinking ships, and the points remain static. And this is not a reliable way to win. You want to be able to take a capture circle so that you can have that steady income. And now that the gross occur first is finally dead, we might be able to move into Alpha and flip it for ourselves. Still a red ship inside of the Charlie cap, but we do have a battleship out there to the, what is that, the northwest of the Charlie cap. He's pointing right in, and it's a cruiser that was inside of that cap, so looks like that battleship was able to deter that cruiser, and Charlie, for now, remains neutral. We're going to kick it into full gear. We're going to point our nose at the Alpha cap, and we are going to sail inside of it with the intent to take it. There is still a Georgia out there, as far as we know, that might shoot at us if we enter the Alpha, or the Alpha cap. And there is still a Cleveland, who last time we saw him was on full health. You can see his shells traveling across the sky there in front of us, so he's still hard at work. Georgia has no hit points left whatsoever. We did want to shoot at him, but our teammates are quickly able to dispatch with him, and that completely leaves the Alpha cap clear. And now, you can look at the point situation and the ship situation. We are ahead on points and on kills. The enemy team only has 4 ships, whereas we have 6. Still, though, nobody holds capture circles. And that, once again, is our goal. Sorry if I bumped the mic there. Anyway, red ship inside of Bravo. That would be the Cleveland. Another ship inside of Delta. We don't know what that is. I think it's one of the other cruisers. But just take a look. These guys are both going to flip the caps red, Bravo and Charlie. And we are going to flip the Alpha cap. And right now, we're ahead of them by nearly 200 points. That's a lot of climbing to do in terms of score, right? But you'll see how quickly that discrepancy gets made up after the enemy team secures these 2 caps and holds them, and we only hold 1. It will become evident why taking the capture points is so important. And a second ago, before these caps started changing colors, you might have looked at that score, and you might have thought, well, there's no way your team is going to lose. You've got a ship advantage, you got a points advantage, it's 2 cruisers, and 1 battleship, plus an aircraft carrier, really 3 surface ships, versus 5 surface ships. Huge advantage to the blue team here. Surely they can't screw this up. Well, if you think that, then you've never seen a game, or you haven't seen enough games in World of Warships Legends. There's the Parseval out there. HE shot out at him. We hit him for 5k, respectable amount. If only we could have citadeled him with the HE, that would have been quite satisfying. And there's the Cleveland moving away from us. You can see that pretty much our entire team is going around the other side of this island where the Cleveland is in an attempt to intercept him. Meanwhile, we aren't following them. We're creating some degrees of separation between ourselves and the friendly battleship on our team, which is a Bismarck. We don't want to be right next to the Bismarck. We want to be far away, or as far away as possible from the Bismarck. Why? Because the remaining enemy ships, they're going to have to pick, should they come across us, who they want to angle against. Do they want to angle against me, or do they want to angle against the Bismarck? If we occupy different sections of the map, and we aren't right on top of each other, then they have to choose. Do they angle against me or the Bismarck? They can't do both, provided we're positioned correctly. Same thing with this Cleveland here. Does he want to angle against the rest of my entire team, shooting at him from behind, or does he want to angle against me? No, he doesn't want to angle against me. He wants to angle against the vast majority of ships behind him, and he wants to expose broadside. At this point, he probably is well aware that he is dead, and we are going to be able to finish him off here. Now, it's vital that we take this Bravo cap. We don't take this cap, then we lose. You saw, before we sunk that Cleveland, the enemy team was ahead on points. Why were they ahead on points? Because they hold the caps, that's why. Now they're not gaining any points from Bravo. Nobody is. It's neutralized, effectively, by our presence in it. And ideally, we want to flip it, so that we can start getting the points from it. But our teammates, they're not doing what we need them to do here, which is support us against these 2 ships. I think our division mate is dead, so he is not around to support us either. That's unfortunate, because we could have probably used his help here, and if he had stayed alive, maybe in retrospect we would have won this. I don't actually remember what sunk him, and, it might not have been his fault. I don't know. Anyway, he's dead, so we have no support here. The remaining 2 surface ships on our team, that Bismarck and that cruiser, what are they doing? They're chasing after the Parseval, the aircraft carrier. And I can see why they might want to do that, particularly the Bismarck, who is a ship that seems to be especially vulnerable to the Parseval, and in fact, he gets killed by the Parseval. So now the enemy team is ahead of us on points again. That cruiser is continuing to go after the Parseval, and they're taking themselves away from this cap, which we have captured, by the way. And probably what we should be doing is disengaging. In fact, I think the move that I'm about to make here might be a throw. But then again, if the enemy team sinks that friendly cruiser, it's just going to be me and the aircraft carrier, and we're going to have no choice but to sink these ships to win. There are less than 2 minutes left to go in the game, and we're going to have to sink the Conqueror now at this point if we're going to win. I don't know what the hit point situation is on the friendly cruiser out there, but you can see the carrier is dropping him with torpedoes, and I think he may go down. Maybe not. He's still alive. Anyway, Conqueror's coming around the corner. We hit him there kind of through the bow with our AP, but 3 of our shells ricochet, trying to angle toward him and awkwardly move into a position as the Parseval takes down the Mogami. Now we absolutely have to kill this Conqueror, and we probably have to kill that cruiser as well in order to win this game. So never mind, this really wasn't a throw. We absolutely had no choice here. Now we're going to wait to see if we can get the guns on target as much as possible. I think the Conqueror is trying to do the same thing, but he shot too early. We smack him really hard there and really hard there, but unfortunately not enough to take him out. 170,000 damage done, and the game, ending in 5 seconds, will end in our defeat. Why? Because the enemy team had the capture circle advantage, and not even for a long time. They just had it for roughly half the game, and that was enough to put them ahead on points, coupled with the kills they were able to secure. So, moral of the story, as always, capture circles are your primary objective, even in games where there are no destroyers, because as you can see, he who holds the caps is he who emerges victorious. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.